You know, I was thinking today about Dead Space. Dead Space 2. A lot of people had, well, I would say probably not a lot of people, but there was some people that had problems with Dead Space 2. And one of the biggest reasons they had a problem with it was because it seemed more action and less survival horror. And people were just like not happy with that when it first came out. And they also didn't like the fact that Isaac talked, which I would argue was not a bad thing. I think the fact that, I mean, if you've ever played the Metro series, 1, 2, 3, you can kind of see where a silent protagonist kind of outstays their welcome a little bit. So I personally think they made a great decision, making sure that Isaac could talk. But another thing that really bothered them was the fact that the second game seemed geared more toward action adventure and less toward survival horror. And that aggravated people, you know. And I think some of the arguments that were made about Dead Space 1 and 2 and their differences, you kind of see those same arguments being brought up with this game too. Like, it's like, it's not the same. It's not why I love this game. And you know, it's some of the arguments are almost the same as, you know, Dead Space 1 versus Dead Space 2. But on the other hand, it's kind of obvious that Dead Space 2 was the superior of the two. It was. From Isaac's movements were, I mean, it was greatly improved. I mean, the way Isaac moved in the first game versus the way he moved in the second game, it was more fluid. It was better. The fact that Isaac could talk, it did add something to the game. The set pieces, the design, it was more than just more Dead Space. It was absolutely Dead Space 2.0. A lot of people who loved the first game had a problem with some of the improvements that the second game brought to the series. They wanted it to just be the same, you know, and you see that in some conversations with, you know, Dying Light 1 and 2. But when you take away all the bugs and the technical issues, and you really get into this game, it does feel like the superior of the two. It really does when it's working. In a way that that Dead Space 2 was the superior experience. It was bigger. It was more fantastic. Arguably, the story was a little more fleshed out than the first game. So I see a lot of parallels between Dead Space 2 and Dying Light 2. And, you know, there's always a certain amount of pressure when a sequel comes out and it needs to carry the weight of its predecessor's success on its shoulders. And I think Dead Space 2 did a good job doing that. And I also believe that Dying Light 2 also does a good job of carrying that success on its shoulders. Um, it's obvious, unlike Dead Space, okay, Kyle Crane is not Aiden Caldwell, no matter how much they sound alike. You are you are putting yourself in the shoes of two different people in two different moments in time within the universe. But I think there's a lot of similarities between the evolution of Dead Space 1 into 2 and the evolution of Dying Light 1 into 2. Some of the parallels are almost uncanny to me. I loved Dead Space, and then I fell crazy in love with Dead Space 2. And some people may want to throw a wet sock at me, but that love for the second game carried over into the third game. Despite its shortcomings, and I feel like, yeah, I get the same vibes with Dying Light 2. Absolutely. Again, when it works, right? So I'm hoping that someday very soon this game is working for everyone who paid cold hard cash for it. So everyone who bought it can enjoy the experience that they paid good money for. Because I feel like this is a game that everyone who wants to enjoy it should be enjoying it. That's probably why I get so aggravated, because I see what this game is supposed to be. And everyone should be able to enjoy it. Everyone. It may not be for everyone, but yeah. Oh yeah. I'm starting to get to the point to where the bugs are becoming less and less of a problem. And this game is absolutely becoming the game that I wanted it to be. Even with all its faults and maybe it's not so great story. Honestly, this is, yeah, I'm gonna say it. Like, this is a masterpiece to me. This game is perfect for me. It's perfect for me. I am incredibly happy with it. Again, when it's working, right? So, it's never going to be Dead Space 2, obviously. But it checks all the boxes that Dead Space 2 kind of checked for me back in the day. And it just reminds me, I need to get me another PlayStation 3, because I still got my Dead Space games and I would love to go back and replay them. So, yeah. Which has nothing to do with this conversation. It was just a little something I threw in there. But anyway, I'm going to go check out Baba and see what she needs. And yeah, that's I wanted to share my thoughts with you guys about something I thought was a little interesting, like the parallels between the evolution of Dead Space and Dead Space 2, and how it seems reflected in like the leap from Dying Light to Dying Light 2 in many ways. And some people are having, like, some of the criticisms about the game is a lot, aside from the bugs and glitches, like, same chatter I'm hearing about that I heard about Dying Light 2. The things people didn't like about Dying Light 2 is the same things that made or Dead Space 2, right? It's similar complaints and criticisms that people are making about Dying Light 2 that they made about Dead Space 2, right? But you could see that there was a clear leap in evolution. And despite what some people may have felt about Dead Space 2 when it first came out, it was a leap forward in story and lore, world building and lore, and how your character moves through the world, and the different things that he can do and the different items that he can use. Yeah, it's I don't know. I see a lot of parallels. So yeah. Anyway, I'm done rambling. I'm gonna go in here and talk to Baba, and you all be careful out there. You know, in the big old city, huh? All right. Good night and good luck, my honeys. I'll catch up with you guys. The patch will be coming out, and we'll look at the patch when it comes out. So yes, that's a thing. But yeah. All right. I'm outie. Hey, Baba. You got a job for me?